This is Toronto, Ontario.
There's security in every building, every single place.
I think there might be somebody living there.
Hello? Oh, hi.
Toronto's been crazy, man. It's been a year, It's wild out here.
Is it getting worse?
Yeah. It's not gonna get better, bro. Like now the drugs is free use, bro.
Do you have addictions to attend to with that money?
Yes, I do.
What would those be?
Crack.
Is there a lot of that down here?
Yes.
Big scam.
And do you know anything about,
Who's coming in?
do you know anything about
Political scam. You should be talking to other people.
immigrants?
It's hard even to get into a shelter, even to the referral center. I can't even get a referral bed because of it being full with immigrants. So
Homelessness.
This is chronic. This is crazy. This is just under a bridge, under like a highway.
Illegal drugs.
Thank you.
What is that $10 funding today?
Some food.
Food? What kind of food are you gonna buy?
I'm not sure yet.
And violence.
4 security guards dragged me into a stairwell in a blind spot and throttled me, gave it to me for 15 minutes straight, laying the boots and knuckles to me on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
Why did they beat you up?
Because I wasn't moving fast enough walking through.
Last year, in 2023, Canada's population grew by 1.2 million people in a single year, the fastest rate of growth the country has seen since the baby boom in the 1950s. It's because in 2023 alone, Canada issued 579,000 student visas, allowing people from foreign countries into Canada seeking a better life, education, and opportunity. The colleges accepting them are charging them a pretty penny, up to 10 times the tuition fee of a Canadian citizen, churning out diplomas and generating a lot of cash.
Using the word school is not appropriate because a lot of these places are not schools. They're factories. They're immigration factories.
But is this country letting more people in than the housing supply can accommodate? During the same year, Canada also welcomed 465,000 immigrants, 493,000 the year before, and other than a small dip during the pandemic, you get the idea, migration to Canada is on the rise. But is mass immigration directly causing the rise in homelessness and cost of living? And is it taking up shelter space from its own citizens that need it?
Asylum seekers sleeping on Toronto sidewalks.
Refugees forced to sleep on the streets of Toronto.
Sleeping on the sidewalk, one sleeping on a suitcase.
Hoping for a place to sleep in a shelter system that has no room for them.
But what could be done to fix the problems the city's facing? How did it get to this point, and how bad is the situation? So I met up with Peter, a born and raised Canadian citizen, previously seen on Global News, sharing his story as a homeless man in Toronto.
How are you?
Oh, not good, Range.
No? Have you spent any time in a tent out here in Toronto?
No, I haven't done that. I've slept in my car, but
Yeah, so-
that's out of the question now.
Right. I imagine that's pretty uncomfortable.
More comfortable in a tent, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's why my friend rescued me for a little bit. Gave me a pretty grungy basement, really old house.
So have you tried to get on any lists for housing and things as such in Toronto?
Yeah, well, I've been to dozens and dozens of churches and community centers.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't know they had that many little buildings. But the problem with our system is they get grants. And all the grants are based on special interest groups. So they're going to house special interests first. I have no problem with single mothers getting help or seniors or something. But I'll see them helping someone who can't even speak English, or someone comes in, they're all messed up, and they help them. Can you point me in the right direction? They classify me as vicariously homed.
What's the description of that?
Couch surfer or anybody who's not sleeping in the shelter.
And that's still not an emergency to the city?
Nope, because we got like the refugee, jumping refugee, a couple of weeks back died on the street. The news blows up. More grants for the shelter. Look at the guys who are dying in the tent. We got to get more grants, put it on the news. Me? So what? If an old guy dies, an old Canadian guy dies, I did pay for this system. That's why the safety net's supposed to be there. But people who never contributed to the safety net get first in line. Especially the refugees get to jump the head of the line.
Why do you think that is?
Because they just got here and they need to be housed. And it looks bad on that world stage. We got refugees left on the street, that one who died. Suddenly, it's a big uproar. It's like I was standing on the corner of Queen and Jarvis, There's two people in brand spanking new, head to toe, very expensive winter boots, coats, hats, gloves. That phone they had to be a couple $1,000 phone. They had their luggage with them. And what are they standing there asking somebody in the corner? Can you tell us where the refugee center is? So you just got off an airplane, the tags are on that. How are you a refugee if you can afford to fly into Canada, be prepared and dressed for Canada weather? But that person is going to get a placement with me. Does that make sense at all? Right now, poverty and immigration is an industry.
You think somebody's profiting off of this?
Oh, there's a lot of people. What I used to do with volunteer work, and you get a free meal. Maybe they'll give you some gloves or something. Now these people who work in the centers are getting paid what used to be volunteer jobs. And even the volunteers are there because they want to get first pick at all the donations. The government doesn't care about houses price going up because the higher the price, the more tax they get. Our system is overloaded. And come on, the student thing, it's been known for 20, 30 years. It's a backdoor into Canada. And the worst part is I wonder how many of these people in their 30s and 40s claim to be students.
Is the student visa a backdoor into Canada? And is it being abused to line the pockets of Canadian schools? More importantly, how is the influx in people affecting the homelessness?
Yes, there are some guys that lost their homes. Majority of the people in the tents are people, usually drug and alcohol, would like an apartment, but they don't like the rules that comes with living in a building or an apartment. Most of them will do damage, party, crash the place, trash the place, eventually leave it or get kicked out. So that is just a wasted apartment for whatever period they go into. When we didn't have places where safe injection. The idea of safe injection is so that people don't OD in laneways and basements and hide.
Yeah.
But the flaw with the safe injection, because it's allowed, they have no fear now. They use doorsteps, they use everything. They're emboldened. Where they used to be shy and the junkies were trying to look proper, they don't care. Because it's allowed.
And Peter's right. Here's a clip from 1 a.m. this morning after me and my cameraman got off our flight. Let's go like this. And before I heard more from the people experiencing homelessness, I went to the security, hired on 24/7 to surveil the encampment at the same park me and Peter were standing in earlier.
The city is going to be contracting out private security to patrol some public parks to try to prevent more homeless encampments.
Can I ask why this park has security hired on?
We're having tents here.
Yeah, are they...
Campments, that's why.
Right, but they're homeless people. They're not like criminals or anything, so like why do they hire on security?
They're doing drugs and all that stuff, that's why.
So they hire you guys on to keep everybody else safe in the park?
Yeah.
Is it 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. How you doing? Not bad. How long have you been working this job here?
Sorry, you can't record.
Oh, why is that?
Because you can't.
We're in a public park.
I know, but you can't record.
Okay.
Our company's policy is that we can't come on camera. Sorry.
Okay, no problems. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
How's it going? What is that? Hey, you got a camera too. That's dope. You got a thing for photography? No? Yeah, let's go. Let's get a picture real quick. What's your name?
Alexander Vladimirovich Prokhorov.
Alexander, where are you from?
Moscow, Russia.
Moscow, Russia. I noticed the accent.
Born and raised, but I was raised here.
Raised here?
Since I was 11, you got red on your...
Okay.
Oh, you got red on your tooth.
I got red on my tooth?
You did. It's gone now.
It's gone? All right, thank you for that.
Talk to you more.
Take care.
And after what I think was the weirdest interaction in my entire life.
This thing's crazy, bro.
Oh, bro's totally right. There is a red thing on my tooth. I found myself talking to this guy, not a security guard, but a city worker, who agreed to be interviewed if I blurred his face.
It's sad, man. Like the prices are they're rising too fast.
Yeah.
People can't keep up.
Yeah. Do you think it's been getting worse over time?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So like the past, like after the pandemic, it's like skyrocketed. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the government doesn't really care.
Do you think it has to do with the fact that they're profiting off of it?
I mean, yeah. And like we have a huge drug crisis as well. Which definitely doesn't help.
Do you think decriminalization was the right choice for Toronto?
No, it's a terrible choice. It ruined the whole city. That's like the main. That's like the main thing that ruined it. Decriminalization was terrible.
And do you think that the immigration to Toronto and those numbers increasing has anything to do with the rising cost of living and the homelessness crisis?
Well, yeah, the open borders do. You can't have mass immigration without like restricting some of it, because you can't have open borders because people are just hopping over the open borders you're letting, and it skyrockets all the housing crisis, and then you have demand pull inflation, which skyrockets all the grocery prices and everything, and the housing prices.
It's because Toronto doesn't really have the capacity to house all of these people, right?
But it's not just Toronto, it's like the entire West. Yeah, like America's the same problem as well. They printed too much money, there's like massive amount of debt. So there's too many people, so like there's no more houses anymore. They gotta take out the malls, make more houses. Because they only make like 200,000 houses a year, and we bring in like 1 million people a year. Like how the heck are we supposed to house people? The math is not mathing. Yeah.
How do you think Canada bounces back from this?
Honestly, I don't even know. It's such a mess. I have no clue.
I think that Trudeau's made a lot of mistakes. I think he's allowing a lot of immigrants in this country with no housing stability, with no housing at hand. And even for myself, for being homeless, it's hard even to get into a shelter, even to the referral center. I can't even get a referral bed because of it being full with immigrants. So,
have you used the shelter services in the past?
Absolutely.
And what are those experiences like?
They vary shelter to shelter, depending what shelter you're in. Some are good, some are bad. Every shelter's got its own set of rules.
Bad and dangerous sometimes?
Some can be, yeah. Depending, you know.
Do you keep your circle small out here?
I try to, yeah. I keep to myself.
Right.
Most of the time.
So I see you hold the doors for money.
I was in the military. I'm a homeless veteran, so I get
respect.
That's fair. Thank you. But yeah, you know, I do what I do. That being said, you know, I hope things improve, and I hope Trudeau makes some different decisions in the future.
Why do you think homelessness in Toronto is a political issue?
Because it's important to everyone. I mean, people should be with a home, whether they're with a job or not without a job. I think everyone deserves a place to stay that's, you know, that's safe for them and their families or whomever. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you work or not work. I mean, I think everybody deserves a good home or a good, safe place to be in, right?
And how long have you been homeless in Toronto?
Approximately about 2.5 years.
How did you falling into homelessness? How did that look like?
Because of my ex, I lived on Weston Road. I had issues with her kids. They didn't like me. She kicked me out. Bottom line, I was working full time before, but now I have some health conditions, so it's kind of prevents you from working full time. So.
And what's it like trying to get employed once you are homeless?
I'd say for myself, not hard. Probably for a lot of other people, probably hard because a lot of them either don't have formal education or they have a long criminal record. There's many factors, right? So I guess it depends, case to case, person to person, yeah.
So where do you sleep out here? Do you have a camp or?
No. I usually stay in like a respite, or I'll stay on like the shelter buses that they have at Spadina, which is in co-joint with TTC.
What's a shelter bus, sorry?
It's through TTC. It's a heated bus that they have outside of Spadina Station. It starts from 8 p.m. and finishes like 6 a.m. 7 days a week.
Something they offer for the homeless?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, that's pretty good. I didn't know the city does something like that.
They just started it, so.
Okay, how long ago?
Maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month at most.
Okay, so you've been taking advantage of that?
Absolutely.
As well as a lot of other homeless people?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And although this might seem wholesome that the city even offers something like this when the shelters are at full capacity, I thought it was pretty counterintuitive when I saw the engineering behind the city's benches.
This is a bus station. There's lots of these around. They have these seats in them that are built, designed, homeless proof. So you can only sit up straight and you can't stay here for long periods of time, because if you were to lie across it, you would give yourself back problems, and it would also be very uncomfortable to try to stay the night on. Is this a perfect example of the city not doing enough to help the homeless? Probably. This one isn't even a full bench. This is just reduced down to the size of a seat. Only good for one person to sit on, maybe two if you're with somebody, but not very comfortable either.
And after nearly breaking my spine lying on a city bench, I was approached by this guy who specifically asked me for $10 before my camera started rolling.
Are you homeless out here in Toronto?
No.
No?
No.
Are you employed?
Yeah, no.
Not?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Thank you.
What is that $10 funding today?
Some food.
Food? What kind of food are you gonna buy?
I'm not sure yet.
You're not sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I hope you have a good meal with that and buy yourself something nice.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem. You have a great day.
Thank you.
I would imagine that $10 is not going to be going to food. A lot of these people have addictions out here. Like, there's people in the middle of the street, like, literally about to get hit. Like, this person up here is just talking to themselves and walking in the middle of the street. Like, this is what you're dealing with around here in this part of town. Oh my God, look at this. We have a random mattress in the middle of the sidewalk. I'm not sure if this is something somebody would be sleeping on. And it looks like there's another one up here. This would make perfect sense to sleep under something like this, especially on a day where there's less wind, because you would at least get blocked by the rain up above. There's actually some shelter in here. How long have you been working security here?
It's been a minute, like here?
Yeah.
On site, like a year or so.
Do you think that the increase in security in these stores and malls in Toronto has anything to do with the homeless crisis?
Bro, like the street as well, honestly speaking, you know how it is?
Yeah.
Like everyone is out, so.
It's just to keep everybody safe?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But how it is just, even now, like, Toronto has been crazy, man. It's been a year, you know. It's wild out here.
Is it getting worse?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not gonna get better, bro. Like now the drugs is free use, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. And like the safe injection.
Bro, it's f***ed up.
Yeah. Do you see things from time to time in here as well?
Yeah, like we seen shit, but still.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you take advantage of the outreach programs here, shelter services?
They're all full.
That's a problem, hey?
That's the problem.
So where do you spend your nights to?
Here, across the street, the doorway over there.
What about the store owners? Do they tell you to move or anything?
Said nothing to me yet.
How long have you used this place as a camp out?
I'm here just periodically.
Right.
So maybe that's why they don't say anything.
Right.
I mean, I don't stay. I've been here since 10 o'clock in the morning, but I'm getting ready to leave soon.
Right.
You know,
and where will you go?
I'll probably go to the subway in Panhandle. Try to make money to get something to eat.
Is that how you make your money out here?
Yeah.
Right.
I have lived the last year on the money I Panhandle.
Do you have addictions to attend to with that money?
Yes, I do.
And what would those be?
Crack.
Is there a lot of that down here?
Yes, there's a lot of addictions down here.
Right.
It's not just crack, it's all of it. When I had my place, I was responsible. But now, when you don't have a place, your responsibilities change. I'm to a point now where I don't care anymore. I mean, I wasn't asked to be an addict. You know, I wasn't born, this was not my plan in my life. You know, I mean, it's a sickness.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't recognize that.
Have you tried to get on a wait list for any of these shelters?
Oh yeah, I call them all the time. They're always full.
Big scam.
And do you know anything about, do you know anything about...
Political scam,
What's that? What is it saying? Do you know anything about, like, foreigners? What's that?
Coming here, they're not Canadian citizens, they're in hotels.
Would you like to be a part of the video?
It's a big political scam. You should be talking to other people.
Do you know anything he's talking about? No. I think he's talking about the foreigners that are coming into Toronto and taking up housing space for people like you and other Canadian citizens.
Yeah, you go to Pizza, you go to McDonald's, you go to 7-Eleven. It's all people from other countries.
The people who work there, you mean?
Yeah. I believe Canadians are a minority in their own country.
Why are Canadians getting neglected and bringing in other citizens into the country?
It's all about money.
Is there security in all of these parks?
There's security in every building, every single place.
Is that for the homeless people to keep them out of the stores?
Primarily, yeah. And you know what? Even homeless people have money to spend sometimes. And if you don't even want a homeless person's money, whose money do you want?
Have you been kicked out of stores for just being there?
Christmas Day.
Yep.
See that right there?
I do.
That is 4 security guards in the Eaton Center dragged me into a stairwell in a blind spot and throttled me, gave it to me for fucking 15 minutes straight, laying the boots and knuckles to me on Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
Why did they beat you up?
Because I wasn't moving fast enough walking through. I move at my speed. You know what my speed is? It ain't reverse, but it wasn't fast enough for them.
And after hearing the little to no remorse that anybody has for these homeless people, I wondered about the people who venture outside of the city just to avoid the chaos of regular life. There's 2 garbage bins here, trash, recyclables. Possibly somebody brings the recyclables to a plant and actually gets money for them. But it looks like there's some storage and stuff where somebody might be living in there. I think there might be somebody living in there. I can smell a fire going. Yeah, right on the bridge. Is anybody there? Hello? Is this like a shelter or just like an accumulation of stuff? Hello? Oh, hi. Would you be able to come out and have a conversation with us quickly? Would you like to be in a short interview? Did you say yes?
Yes. There was a guy here that is
Okay. I didn't see him. I can't really hear you.
They throw the shopping cart on Ravine.
Yeah, I see a shopping cart.
Yeah, so it was here, they just throw it there.
They stole it?
Oh my God!
Okay. We'll wait for you. That person in the camp has a fire going with no ventilation. It's under a bridge. It's just smoke that's just accumulating inside of the camp. That can't be too good for your lungs. Risk carbon monoxide poisoning. Definitely not deemed safe. It's next to a highway as well. It's loud, it's noisy. It's a lot of trash that accumulates because of people living here. Like, should I wait for him? Or... I don't know if I piss him off.
I think you pissed him off.
All right, let's just go. Let's go. This shit's crazy. There's a dog bed here. I don't know if that is more homeless people having animals to shelter as well. But there's a whole lot of random stuff here. It looks abandoned. I don't know if it was just dumped here, if somebody's coming back for it, but this is just under a bridge, under like a highway. Vodka up there, look. Golf putter. 4. Completely mind blown that this is somebody's living arrangements. I made my way out of there and went back to the city park to talk to the outreach. Is this a volunteer position?
No, we're paid.
What is your job out here in the park?
Making sure that no one's OD'd or drug overdose and stuff like that.
Is that the main concern of your job position?
Well, that and finding shelters for the homeless people.
Right. Do you know the statistics on how many people live in this park at the moment?
Not that many people, maybe 5.
5? Was there more at one point in time?
Yeah.
Did the city shuttle them out, or how did that work?
You have like a street to home, and they come Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
And they help place the people who are in the park in like homes and shelters and stuff like that.
Regardless, the crisis Toronto's facing right now is a war between its own citizens and the people allowed entry into the country by means of immigration and study permits, both of which the numbers are rising too fast and too soon, making housing sparse and completely unaffordable, causing a spike in inflation, a shortage of jobs, and overcapacitated shelters. And that's leaving people like Peter and countless others without a place to stay in their very own country.